Good night, everyone, and welcome once again to He Lived, Heaven's Live Devotional. I'm glad you guys are here tonight. How you guys feeling? Good. Well, let's jump right into it. The word in the street tonight is coming from Matthew, chapter 22, okay? And it's verses 2 and 3. All right, go ahead and get that. Matthew 22, verse 2 and 3. And the word in the street says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a king who prepared a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his servants to those who had been invited to the banquet to tell them to come, but they refused to come." Wow. This verse is interesting. You've got a banquet. A king is throwing a banquet for his son, and he invites people to come. And when he sent the servants out to go invite them, they just refused to come. And I see this happen for many of us today, all over the world. I feel that God is sending his servants out to you and to me every day, inviting us to come into his heart, inviting us to a life with him, and many of us just refuse to come. And it reminds me of a quick story. You know, I play ball, love playing basketball, and as I was growing up and I started getting a little more into it, started getting a little more mature in my game around 12, 13 years old, I started playing full court games in the street, New York City. And although I thought that I had a couple of skills, when I would play and on offense, my point guard would come down with the ball, and everywhere he went, I would go to the opposite side so that he couldn't see where I was, literally. So he'd come on the left side of the court dribbling down, and I'd run to the other side of the court and go to the right side so that he wouldn't be able to see me. And it was mainly because, honestly, I was pretty scared. I mean, I knew that if the point guard came down, saw me as his teammate on the same side of him, he would throw me the ball. And when I got the ball, I would have to do something with it. And I was so nervous, I didn't want to make a mistake. I didn't want to miss the shot. I didn't want to try to dribble and get it stolen. And so I would just run around all the time, run away from him on this side, run from that side. And it was mainly because I was scared. I didn't want to mess up, and so I refused to go around my point guard because, I didn't want to take that kind of responsibility. And in the same way here, I believe that sometimes we refuse to acknowledge the presence of God in our lives because we know that we have to own up to him. When we recognize that there is only one and true God, then we know that there's a standard. We know there's a way of living that he expects us to live, and we don't want to live that way. And so some of us stay as far away from God as possible. We stay as far away from church. We stay as far away from those who pray. We stay away from those who believe in God because we don't want to own up to that. And I tell you today that it's one of the ways that many of us do to ease our conscience. But if you have to stay away from God just in order to ease your conscience, then I tell you today that God is truly knocking on the door of your heart today. And so I invite you guys to remember that many of us are going out there, servants are out there inviting you every day to spend time with God. They're out there inviting you every day to a life with Christ. I just hope that you accept it. Have a good day, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 10 p.m.
How great is our God?